down the other podcasts one by one.
Who are these social?
That clip is why people make fun of you.
With Karl.
This is all just for the radio.
And Blind Mike.
We have a lot of business to take care of.
Who are these
We are
social?
the number one podcast on the internet today.
WATS.
Welcome to yet another episode of WATS, the show thousands of people come to answer the age-old question, what's the deal with social media? You can't find a show with better coverage of the Republican National Convention. I'm your host, Karl Hamburger. With me, as always, is Mike Geary, a.k.a. Blind Mike. What's up, Mike?
I'm at ease today, Karl. After the big closing yesterday of a house in Florida, I can end my real estate reporting career and get back to a little social media talk, what I like doing.
I know that July 17th just looming over your head.
Ooh, it was a lot. It was a busy week for me, but finally we're on the other side.
Think we're on the other side. Did you hear that John was calling out Rocco Burrow for starting that
I
rumor?
was so pissed.
I felt bad
I'm
for you.
being wiped out of this lawsuit all of a sudden.
It's crazy. Your name doesn't come up anymore.
It's very annoying.
Yeah, welcome to the world of stuttering John Melendez. The most important thing to ever happen ever, and then the next day never talks about it
Forgot
again.
about me.
Now, Mike, there are rumors going around that the Secret Service was ordered to stand down by the deep state and that I won't read your super chats. The latter is simply not true. I will read every super chat. I'll even interrupt my blind co-host in a very rude manner to do so. And I want to remind people, if you give us $25 or more, you get a personalized jingle. I am a little behind on that. I got to apologize to Chris Holm, a.k.a. Skinny Blind Mike,
Oh,
because this guy gave us a super chat weeks ago. And we got one coming for you, buddy. I apologize. We'll get caught up on that for sure.
excellent.
And Dave Daffler is in here, a member for 11 months, and I had no idea that Blind Mike was black. We don't like to talk about it. This is a very woke show that we have here, but we don't like to talk about
The
it.
rest of the program would be preoccupied with I'm like, what's wrong with the lighting in here now?
You look great, buddy. You look great. Let me tell you that.
Good.
Now, we start our show very differently than other shows start. Other shows like to get into song parodies and voicemails right out of the gate. We don't do that. We like to ease into things. So the way that we do that is there's two co-hosts on the show, myself, Karl, and then Blind Mike. I introduced him just moments ago. Maybe you weren't here for it, but anyway, Blind Mike's here as well. And so what we like to do, because there's two co-hosts, it's not just one guy, we have a little back and forth. You know, we volley the ball around. We call it banter.
Yeah.
It's very different than most shows. We just have a little conversation to break the ice, get things moving. And another thing that's different about our show is that we actually have sounders for these types of things.
Here come the guys with the banter. The frosted tips, yeah. Here come the guys with the banter. The other can't see shit, yeah. Here come the guys with the banter.
Talk! Do you banter at me? Do you banter at me? Banter World Order. BWO.
Rapid fire.
It's taken over right now, this banter. No one even knows what to do about it. There's so much going on. Now, first, I have to tell you, I just got the notification. Bob Newhart passed away today.
Yeah, very sad.
Now, have you featured Bob Newhart on your History of Comedy show yet?
I did. On Why You Laughing? Yes, we did do a Bob Newhart episode probably a year and a half ago.
Yes, I
So
remember
go
hearing
watch
that.
it. It's what Bob would have wanted.
Are you going to do anything to try to get the clicks? Try to resubmit it or anything like that?
No, I mean, I tweeted it out. There's only so much I can profit off of a man's death, you know?
Well, says you. I feel like you're not trying hard enough, maybe.
Guys, go watch it, please.
Okay.
It's probably the lowest viewed episode. So actually, do Bob a solid. He needs it.
I will say that my generation, your generation, probably not a bunch of like diehards for Bob Newhart.
No, I mean, he had the guy had the greatest sitcom finale of all time. So you gotta, any generation should appreciate that.
Yes. All right. I forgot you're still trying to sell your product. No, Bob Newhart's great. It's really important
He
stuff.
invented the deadpan.
Yes, we have to appreciate all that he did. R.I.P. Bob Newhart. Now, we haven't talked since the assassination attempt on President Trump.
No.
All the kids are talking about it, of course. It's a big
You know
deal.
all my theories on it.
And, of course, one of the greatest takes of all time was from our buddy Stuttering John Melendez, who tweeted out, Trump shot? Horse shit. Paint gun. Orchestrated.
Paint gun, as if that wouldn't be figured out immediately.
No, it's a very intelligent take by John.
Hey, guys,
you
it's paint.
You could tell the types of people that John talks to and texts with. The fact that everyone's just like, yeah, no, definitely paint gun, orchestrated. Yeah, for sure. No, tweet it out, John. No, you're right. You got this.
Well, he said he called his buddy, the Army Major, who Richard Ojeda's big takeaway from it was, he goes, guys, I think the biggest problem was Donald Trump doesn't have enough metal detectors, so we should really blame him for this whole thing.
When I heard that his hot take was that Trump doesn't like metal detectors, he ordered Secret Service to remove all the metal detectors. They're like, but sir, your safety. He's like, I don't care. Richard Ojeda's an idiot. He might be the dumbest guy.
Trump also said if you see a guy twirling a gun on top of a building, no one act for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, let's see let him make the first move. Let's see how this plays out. Yeah, see how this plays out before we do anything, for sure. But there's one guy who came up with even dumber ideas than Stuttering John Melendez, and I know it's hard to believe. But that would be our friend Owen Benjamin. You know Owen Benjamin?
Oh, I sure do, yes.
Owen Benjamin used to have like a career in Hollywood as an entertainer and a comic.
I think he was like a relatively funny guy. I didn't check out a lot of his stand-up, but like he seemed funny and then just got obsessed. He got like canceled, but he didn't really even get canceled because he was still doing a bunch of podcasts and stuff. He was on Rogan, but he got shit for trans tweets and then just got so locked into that lifestyle.
Yeah, he insisted on being canceled, yes.
Yeah, exactly. He liked it.
His only goal.
Dug his heels in.
Right. So this is his big take. This is his tweet that he put out. If people actually died at Trump's speech, that's Trump's fault. He didn't provide security to see a guy with a gun on a roof. That's 100% his fault then. He brought people to an event with that level of incompetent security. Has he apologized to the family yet, or is he still bitching about the cut on his ear?
Yeah, that's actually not a bad point. Every year when they honor Kennedy in November, I boo. Mm-hmm. I'm like, you guys don't understand.
Yeah,
that was
Kennedy's
John's fault. He brought all those people there.
You got to have eyes in the back of your head, buddy. Come on, you're the president. You should know.
Keep it on a swivel.
Yeah, what are you thinking right there? So I guess that's like he needs attention kind of tweet.
Yeah, that's what Owen is. And like, I used to think, and maybe I'm right still, but I just don't know enough about
I like that. I used to think, and you know what? I'm probably correct even now, but
I just don't know enough about him anymore. But I used to think like Gavin McInnes was kind of like this, and like these guys that got so dug into their character that they kind of became that. Like I think Owen said a couple of shocking things early on and got a reaction, and now he's just that to the point where he alienated himself out of the business.
Well, he's in some kind of business. I think he's on Gavin's network, Censored TV.
Oh, is it? Well, that fits. Yeah, that's good.
Which fits. Yeah, it makes sense. And he's got some kind of following.
Did Cumia shit on him in his book, Owen Benjamin? I know he's referenced in there, but...
Oh, I don't know.
I heard people say that Anthony wrote about Owen. I didn't realize they were working together now.
I got a note from someone not that long ago. They said, Karl, would you like Owen Benjamin on your show? And I went, nah. I think I'm good.
He seems like the kind of guy, like if you guys talked about a podcast, he would be like, that's exactly what the liberals do. And it's like, how did we get there?
I think he would derail the show. I don't think he'd be able to just play into it. You know, it's like, I like to have people on the show who are familiar with the format, who understand how it runs and how we run things. Right. Not going to get into a political debate with that. Who has the hottest takes on Hamas? You know, that's not my thing.
Yeah, he has a very one-track mind.
So then
it's politics and accusing Dave Chappelle of stealing jokes from him.
Yes. So the next tweet he put out after that, because everyone's just like, whoa, this is crazy. He wrote, bookmark all these tweets from the past 2 days and in 6 months revisit them. If you can admit your emotions were played and I was trying to help, let me know in 6 months, or don't. But it's very healthy to do that. It will lead to a better life and you won't be so easily manipulated in the future. It's called making amends. So he's not only calling a shot, he's saying, well, history is to be very kind to me, everybody.
I didn't realize he tweeted that, and it's all making so much sense now. My therapist, I was talking about something from my childhood, and he's like, do me a favor. We'll talk in 6 months. Read Owen Benjamin's tweets. He's like, you'll get it in a few. Just don't worry. It might not make sense now.
Yeah. Right now, you're going to think he's just looking for attention, and that's crazy. But in 6 months from now, you'll be like, you know what? That was Trump's fault that a 20-year-old was on that roof over there.
It's a good point.
Makes perfect sense. All right. A lot of times when we start the show off, I like to start with music for some reason. I don't know why. But this made some pretty big news. Let's get into it.
Who are these music? Who are these music?
All right. There is a country singer who has been nominated for Grammys named Ingrid Andress.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know about this?
I didn't know anything about her until.
All right, me
this
neither.
incident.
I never heard of her.
Yeah.
But they say that she's legit, and I guess she sings the national anthem for, was this the Home Run Derby?
Yeah. Which I
Very-
didn't even know they did that.
I was just going to say, very important that we sing the national anthem before the Home Run Derby. Our founding fathers wrote that in the Constitution. They crossed out, like, this sounds silly. But we'll cross it out. It sounds a little silly that we would do this.
Hit some dingers, boys.
Nothing more American. Hit some home runs off a batting practice coach. Oh, wow, they're lobbing it in at 50 miles per hour. Take it out of the spark, baby.
That is very weird that they do. That didn't dawn on me until just now.
What, should they just, like, put up meatballs for these guys and
No,
tee off
just that
on?
they sing the
Oh.
national. Like they treat it like a real game.
Yes, it's so stupid. And the stadium's always sold out for these things. That's what's so incredible about it. Like, I'll watch that TV for a minute, and then I'll, like, watch something more important, and then I'll come back to it an hour later and see what's going on. Just sit there and watch the Home Run Derby for 3 hours is insane.
Well, I liked it as a kid, and then at a certain point, they were like, you know, what would be really cool is if we added a lot more rules. That would make it way better.
Well, then you get a timeout, but then if you hit 2 more home runs before the next timeout, you can take 2 more timeouts. And then if you foul it off to right field, then you get 20 seconds deleted. And then it's like, what's going on right now? I'm confused.
That was baseball's biggest problem. It wasn't enough of a pain in the ass to watch.
Anyway, let's get back on track here. I did like to watch the Home Run Derby back when it was McGuire and Sosa and Bonds and, you know, the guys who were taking all the drugs. Can we get back to that era of baseball where there were just freaks on the field who could hit the ball 500 feet without moving their feet?
Yeah. Or, I mean, if this girl's any indication, just give him a little liquid courage, because this was pretty
right.
fun to watch.
All right, let's check it out.
Anthem. Please welcome 4-time Grammy-nominated country singer-songwriter Ingrid Andress.
Oh, I should point out, too, I had to find a different link for this than the one you sent me, Mike. Yeah. I think she's scrubbing this. Or someone's
really?
scrubbing this from YouTube. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Someone is.
I mean, it already had millions of views when I
Well,
found it. So.
actually, now that I think about it, it could be MLB.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, you know, they just had implied oral consent, not express written consent.
That's what I always go for.
Oh, say, can you see?
I want to point out, it's very difficult to be off key with no musical accompaniment right out of the gate. That's hard to do.
That's unusual.
Yeah, like you usually like go ahead and pick whatever key you want, start it off, and go ahead. She's already off key. It's crazy.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed by the twilight's last
I
gleam,
think she's getting the lyrics wrong too.
whose broad stripes and bright stars through the
Let me
perilous
fucking tell you something,
fight.
America.
Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof.
If I was working there, I'd be like, we still shooting these things off, or because it's going to be ridiculous and we should have these
It's
fireworks
a more
right now.
serious situation than we realized.
Yeah, wasn't ready for this.
Through the night, that our flag was still there.
All right, you get the point. So apparently she said that she was drunk
Yeah.
and she's checked herself into rehab.
Yeah, I always wonder, is that like, did she realize she had a problem? Because that can do that to you. Or like, do they make you, like, does her team say like, it would be best if you checked into rehab now?
It's a
You know what
PR
I mean?
move. It's 100% a PR move. I've watched Intervention. I've watched enough of these episodes. People never recognize their bottom. It's like, we literally picked you up out of the gutter. You have so many track marks you can't find a vein. It's time to get help. They're like, listen, I'm not that bad. You know, I mean, come on. Things can be worse. Like, you say the national anthem on TV and you couldn't hit the notes. She's like, yeah, but it was the home run derby. I mean, what are we talking about here? It wasn't the Super Bowl.
For a young girl to get through the home run derby, it's like, come on. Of course she's going to party a little. You got to make it interesting.
That's a good point, too. So, I don't know if she was drunk or she just can't sing very well without auto-tune. I don't know what the deal is. But it reminded me of Jerry Only singing the national anthem before a roller derby event.
Sure.
Mike, you know who Jerry Only is?
No.
Okay, so Jerry Only is the bass player for the legendary punk band The Misfits that was fronted by Glenn Danzig.
Okay.
And what happened was Glenn Danzig went on to form the band Danzig, and the Misfits were left with whatever they had. And so Jerry Only, the bass player, became the lead singer of the band and fancied himself a singer at that point.
Naturally, of course.
Yes. And so he came out on this, and he's dressed up in his whole Misfits attire, with his Misfits shirt, in case you weren't sure what band he's in. And he comes out for this roller derby thing and sings the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chille from the Misfits!
People are stoked. They're excited. I know what you're thinking, Mike. You're like, what does the national anthem sound like in punk rock form?
Yes.
Oh, let's find out. Get ready to bob your head.
Been a dream of mine to do this. Because I was my wife and my little girl who had to go to the hospital the other day, and they were brave. This is about bravery. Starts right there.
Whoa. Before he even sings a note, this goes out to my little girl who went to the hospital the other day. Say it about you, sweetheart. Sing the fucking national anthem.
All right. A little, offbeat, but I'm still in. I
All
love
right, here we go.
America.
All right, let's go.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held and the twilight last gleaming?
Oh no, he thinks he can sing. Oh no, he thinks he's a musician. Who told him he was a musician? Chris asks, was it him that punched Karl? No, it was the drummer, but he was the front man of the band when we opened for them, and they sucker punched me and Croge.
Whose broad stripes and bright stars.
All right, it's not great, but let's skip forward because we all know that the American national anthem has this tricky part in the bridge where all of a sudden you need some kind of vocal range to pull it off. Let's see how he does with that.
The ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red
All right. I'm glad you picked up on that, Mike. I know you're not a big music guy. He just changed the key. He's just like, I'll just sing totally different notes because there's
That's
no
like,
way.
it's kind of like how I would say if you made me hit a high note where I'd be like, I guess I'm just going down here because I'm not hitting that.
Yeah, right. But it's one thing to like change the octave. He just
Yeah.
changed the key of the song right there. It's
I
not
gotta
good.
say, so I don't know much about this fella or the Misfits or anyone involved,
Mm-hmm.
but my assumption would not be he's doing almost like a Tom Jones impression. Like the voice is surprising to me.
Yeah, you weren't ready for that, were you?
No, not at all.
The bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say.
So just a quick, fun little anecdote from me. People have heard this story. I've talked about it many times. But when my band opened for the Misfits, we decided to poke some fun at them. And the way we started our show was we said, all right, we're going to be really patriotic tonight. We're going to have the national anthem played. And I played the audio of this over the PA system. We
That's
never
always
said,
good.
we never
Humiliate the
said,
headliner.
we never said who it was. We all just stood with our hands over our hearts. And apparently they knew exactly what we were doing because they were not too happy with us.
I'm glad they punched you. I didn't know that.
Yeah, we had it coming. Not going to lie to you. By the way, I'm glad they punched you. It's the same thing my girlfriend and father said after that happened. So apparently you're not alone. Mike, let's head over to Instagram real quick.
Blinded like Blind Mike. Don't be a douche. Instagram in the night. Blinded like Blind Mike. Check out these reels. They might make you wanna fight.
These might make you want to fight. So David Eden sent me this, and I think that we've covered some of this before. This feels familiar, but this is definitely new.
Okay.
So there's Disney fans come in all shapes and sizes.
Oh, God, no, not another dating app.
As you know, this is not a Disney hookup, wife swap
Okay.
thing. This is the biggest women who exist in this world. And by that I mean American women.
Yeah.
This is American women going to a restaurant at Disney World and letting other fat women know if they should go there or not. This is important.
This does sound
This
familiar.
is journalism is what I would call this.
Have you been dying to eat at Three Bridges Bar and Grill at Disney's Coronado Springs, but you weren't sure if you'd fit? Hey everyone, we're plus size perk hoppers. We range in sizes from 2X to 5X. Make sure you like this video and follow us for more plus size Disney tips and tricks. On this episode of If I Fits, I Sits, we had dinner at Three Bridges Bar and Grill. This restaurant is located in the middle of the lake at Coronado Springs and has an absolutely incredible view. The seating here consists of wicker chairs with arms and some more relaxed patio furniture. At first, we were seated at a table with wicker chairs and found them super uncomfortable.
So it's really funny watching them try to squeeze into these wicker chairs. Like, I've never, Mike, you and I are
Furniture's
fat.
shattering under us.
Yeah, you and I are fat guys, but not to this degree. Like, I've never seen a chair with arms and been like, nope, can't do it.
But also I can't imagine, like, have a little pride or shame or whatever it is you're supposed to have. Where I can't imagine making a video and going, hey guys, I'm easing into a 2X and here's how you can live like me.
Right. It's so bizarre to me. They're just like, yeah, you know, being a 5X woman is inconvenient in everything you do in your life. It's bad for you. But we got some workarounds for you. We got some cheat codes that are going to help you out.
We fit in the chairs, but we had to sit forward, and it wasn't comfortable enough to sit through a whole dinner. We asked our server if they had any other seating available, and if not, we'd just get takeout.
I like the server comes over, they're like, yeah, no, I know. They were all just like laughing in the back. We knew you weren't going to sit here. We just wanted to see what would happen.
I am getting the feeling if we didn't do this video, there are way too many obese women at Disney, because this does feel familiar.
Yeah, no, there are too many obese women at Disney. Someone in the chat said that Tim Dillon did this as well, which I believe
okay.
that
Maybe I heard it
that
there.
makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, so now they're being seated on these chairs that are not meant to be dining chairs. They're just kind of overlooking the lake, and there's a tiny little table.
And if not, we just get takeout. She came back a few minutes later and brought us to another table with patio chairs. These were so much more comfortable. We were so glad we switched. The switch also gave us a better view of the tower in all her glory. For an appetizer, we all shared the white queso dip and thought it was super delicious. They even bring you more chips if you run out. For an entree, Ashley got the 3...
I'm guessing they ran out, Mike. I'm guessing the reason why they know that is because they ran out of chips.
I'm guessing the chip runner knees buckle when he saw the behemoths coming.
That was his last day. All right, I can't do this anymore.
They even bring you more chips if you run out. For an entree, Ashley got the Three Bridges signature burger. She loved it and really liked the accompanying sauce. She said the sun-dried tomato jam was a bit salty, so she'd get it on the side next time. My name is Stephanie, and I got the steak frites. I absolutely loved the fries and the little salad on the side, but I do think the steak was pretty chewy. Sarah got the Villa del Lago wedge salad with chicken. She said the chicken was really good, and the salad was good too, but she wouldn't go back just for the salad. All in all, our favorite part of this restaurant...
Yeah.
You guys want to go out to that expensive dinner at Disney World? I'm not getting just salad. No, I know. I wasn't saying you should.
They
Just
order
so you
salads
know.
the way you get a garnish on your plate.
Yeah, right.
Salad. All in all, our favorite part of this restaurant is the atmosphere. You're not able to make a reservation for this restaurant, but you can join the walk-up list on your My Disney Experience app.
Watching them waddle out of there, too. Well, that was informative, I think.
Yeah, things are much too made for every individual. Like if you're a person that wears a 5X t-shirt, there shouldn't be an app where it's like, well, how can I pig out at Disney? It's like, no, get down to a 4X,
Mike, that's un-American of you. Come on. We live in America.
I'm sorry. They shouldn't be bringing in park benches because the wicker is breaking underneath them.
I've done a lot of these types of shows with Dick Masterson over the years. Yeah. And it is crazy. And I never realized this until I started watching these programs and podcasts where they try to give tips and advice for plus-size people. But apparently, going to a restaurant that has bench seating is euphoric for them. It's the greatest thing that's ever happened. They're like, there's benches here? Fuck yeah! They're going to eat there 3 times a day when they see that.
Well, everything's a bench when you break the handles off.
Good point.
Yay, super chats.
Dave Daffler, which I finally discovered the reason why we call him Dave Daffler, because it looks like Dave Delafiore is his last name, but apparently Bob Levy pronounced it Daffler, so everyone's done that ever since. Dave says, off topic, Karl, did you see Cory Feldman yet? Show all work. I am going on Tuesday. I'm flying to Detroit. We're going straight to the venue because for some dumb reason, they put Cory Feldman's band on first. This is ridiculous.
Why would the headliner go first?
It doesn't make any sense. It's like Cory Feldman, then a couple other bands, and then Limp Bizkit. It should be Limp Bizkit, then Cory Feldman, and call it a day. Because this is why I'm upset about it, Mike. And it's a amphitheater. There's a big roof. We'll be under the roof. We have really good seats. But I want to see like the light show. I'd rather it be when the sun is down that Cory Feldman comes out.
Oh, yeah, good point.
It's just not the same.
You can't watch Ascension Millennium in the daytime.
Thank you. That's what I'm like upset about. But it's still going to be great. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to be sitting there with Brandon from the Drew Lane Show. Drew's going to the show too. Sure. We're going to get a bunch of video. And I'm going to go on Drew's show on Wednesday. And we'll do a full review. We'll show all the homework.
That's very exciting.
A full review of it. Yeah, I'm excited about that. Rocco Orby 2002 $2 says, Secret Service, more like Secret Cervix. Am I right? Leave the comedy to Blind Mike Geary, please.
I liked it.
High and tight $2. This broadcast is brought to you by Urinol.
You don't think bands change? The lady singing the national anthem changed a lot of words, you dick.
Oh my gosh. That was one of the funniest things, his retort to that. So you saw WATP yesterday, I'm guessing?
I got to that point just about. Yeah, I heard you talking.
So, yeah, I was making fun of John's song, I Feel Small, where he goes, I feel small when I use a urinal. I feel small like a jalapeno. Like, just making up words now. And John's big gotcha on that when he goes, no, bands do this all the time, Karl. Haven't you ever heard Rush's Tom Sawyer?
It was a terrible example.
Yeah, he goes, today's top warrior, Tom Sawyer, but he doesn't realize that like warrior and Sawyer do kind of rhyme, so they did say Tom Sawyer.
It was a terrible example, and I think he's like going for maybe like rappers. Like Eminem would have been a better example, where he twists and changes words, but he also kind of does it like tongue-in-cheek and on purpose a lot of the time. Whereas John thought he was being coy, like we wouldn't even notice.
Right, in a very clever way, yes. I always think about the Beastie Boys, the Sounds of Science song, where I've been kicking the new knowledge. Like they know that that's not how it's pronounced, it's a joke. Right. But urinal is not a joke, it's just shoehorning in a rhyme that doesn't exist. I don't need to explain
that's not
this.
how it's pronounced?
I don't need to explain this to you. High and Tight says, arms on a chair are violence. It's an act of violence putting arms on a chair. You don't know how big my butt's going to be.
That's a good point.
Carl's Frosted Tip $2 say, oh, hey, Mike Geary, Geary, prepare to be sued.
Hey, delete that, please.
Oh, yeah. I'll take that out in post. When I figure out your last name. It's so weird to me. And it's not weird. I wonder how other people take it, though. When it was just a couple weeks ago, the FBI was involved, and we were in this class action lawsuit, you and I were,
yeah.
and Tukey and Chille, and that is all just gone now.
I was super chatting him. I said, John, when's the FBI going to come and take me away? And he goes, I don't know, but he just moved on.
It's so embarrassing. That's why we don't ever believe you, John. You're a liar. You got nothing.
And it's crazy. Like, if I was that wrong about something, we'd do a whole episode about it, and everyone would call me an idiot, and we'd have some fun, you know?
Yep. You would think. All right, let's head over to Twitter.
Look at this tweet now.
And the reason why we're going over to Twitter is because Alec Baldwin, a guy who's on your beat,
Yes.
lucky for him, he was found not guilty. Well, they threw it out, and he can't be tried again, right?
Yeah. The prosecution was withholding evidence.
Wow.
It was quite a. The ladies gotten quite a tiff over it. You had a female judge, you had a female lawyer. You know how they are. You know, it was a whole.
Yeah, I sure do, Mike. So it was dismissed with prejudice, I believe.
Yes.
Now that I think about it, and so Alec Baldwin is a free man. He'll never have to face this again.
Thank God.
But this was a fun little scene that happened because the prosecutor was on the stand.
Right.
And so this is cross-examination of the prosecutor, and the camera is just on Alec Baldwin. And the beauty of this is the reaction when he hears this word.
I really appreciated the acting that he did on Saturday Night Live, and I really appreciate his politics.
You told one of the witnesses who disagreed with you during an interview that you thought Mr. Baldwin was a cocksucker.
I do not recall saying that.
I love that. She's like, whoa. I called him an unhinged douche, a pretentious psychopath, a shithead. I don't remember calling him a cocksucker. I don't use words like that.
Listen, I may have shot a woman, but let's not lower ourselves to name calling.
Are you sure you didn't call him a cocksucker? Was it fuckstick? It might have been fuckstick now that I think about it.
Your Honor, I said sock cucker, and then I did the Chip Chipperson finger guns.
Yes.
Kind of an inside thing.
Well, all right. If you weren't referring to Alec when you said cocksucker, can you please stand up and point to the cocksucker in the courtroom so that we all know who the cocksucker is? That's just fun. I wish more celebrities shot people by mistake. It's just fun.
It is a shame we didn't get a full Alec Baldwin trial, but the reality show comes out next year, so I'm holding.
Oh,
out.
I know. And the cameras were in the courtroom, right?
I hope so. Yeah.
Oh man, that is going to be fun. All right, that's enough with Twitter. Let's get over to YouTube. Mike, your call. Which YouTube jingle are we playing today?
Ooh, I like the new one, not the AI one.
All right, you got it.
I'll stop the show and watch YouTube.
Now, we announced this on the last episode that Chile DeCastro Delete Laws is a free man.
Yes, very exciting.
Yeah,
it's about
very.
time.
It's about time. Finally, some justice in this country, and so he's back on his show, and he's got a lot more work to do.
Yeah, his tone was not what I expected. I thought it would be very Trumpian almost, where he would come out and tell everyone to suck his cock, but it was much more subdued.
I do like when Trump tells everyone to suck his cock.
Well,
it is one of his.
Yeah.
It is one of his funnier things that he says at the rallies. All right, let's see what Chille is talking about.
So, all right. I just want to, from the bottom of my heart,
oh, wow.
I just want you guys to know that I do understand that I wouldn't be where I am now if it wasn't for you. So I can go over the GoFundMes and thank individual people one at a time, which I'm going to do this week, each and every one of you.
Well,
I'm going to go down that list of everybody who donated and say thank you to each and every one of you, because I would have been ruined. And the crowd here, all the people individually throwing in, I just...
He's wiping tears from his eyes. So apparently it's very emotional when people give him money.
Yes.
Which is maybe why Aaron Imholt can't cry on demand, because no one's giving him money.
Wait till he hits the goal.
Yeah, maybe that's the problem here, because Chille's like making a shit ton of money. He's like, I can't believe this grift is fucking working.
Yeah, I mean, that's my problem with this. I felt like if it was anyone else, I would have felt bad, because believe me, fucking 4 months in jail, I'd be sobbing my ass off. It's not like I'd be able to handle it very well. But it's only when he's talking about how much money you guys gave him and how much money you still need to donate.
Right.
So it feels a little like he's manipulating you. Also, like, as a guy who wondered what's Chille going to do when he gets out, he's probably going to have some big explosive episode. I was not expecting him to say, buckle up, gang, because eventually, at some point, just teasing, I'm not going to tell you what, but I will read a list of names.
I got to be there for that. I can't wait. Can't wait to hear my name in that list.
Yes.
I just can't say thank you enough. I can't. So I didn't plan on sitting here crying right now. I had a totally different plan.
I think he really is emotional because I know he's not a good actor. He got a job on Power Rangers.
That's a good point. Yeah, he definitely was emotional. He started out very somber. He did seem like kind of a different Chille. Well, for a little while anyway.
Yep, for a little while. Let's see how long that lasts.
There was plenty of good people in that dungeon who I saw that were in there for child support, that were in there for a paid for ticket, for not showing up for court, that were in there because they had a traffic ticket that they didn't pay.
All right. Again, this fucking narrative where it's just like, oh, this kid had half a joint on him and he's spending 20 years in prison. This guy rolled through a stop sign and now he's in prison with me. It's like, that's not how this happens.
You remember that scene in Shawshank where Morgan Freeman says, well, I'm the Andy Dufresne. I'm the only guy in Shawshank that didn't pay a parking ticket.
Right. It's so ridiculous. Also, we also remember the Chile DeCastro who got sent to medium security prison. And he's like, I shouldn't be here. This is scary. These people are fucking nuts. And now there are people who didn't pay a parking ticket? Like, what happened? Okay.
Well, he wants it to be both. And that's why he was very careful in saying, like, most of them, but some of them are crazy and very scary. But most of them are good people that don't belong in there.
There was a lot of people in jail that didn't belong there. And there was some people there who belonged there.
Oh, some. Okay, well, that's good. I'm glad some of them actually belong there.
To quick shout out to my homies and to my Ennas. Like we had, you create a bond with people in jail that you end up where you become friends with these guys because of what you both went through. So if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes,
it was real hell.
Uh-oh.
It was real hell. So, man.
Yes, sir. I do know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, boy. What do you think he's talking about there, Mike?
Did he get fucking raped?
It sounds a lot like the booty man got to him.
What else could he be talking about?
Well, it starts off really rough, but then eventually you just accept it and just spread wide. It is what it is.
It's the male G spot back there,
I just thought of something. So, Chille DeCastro, Jose Marie DeCastro, is in prison. This guy couldn't look more white. He's got to convince everyone in prison that he's Hispanic. He's like, no, what are you guys? They're like, okay, get the fuck out of here, asshole.
Well, saying my Ennas couldn't have been a good start.
You're right.
Am I missing a term, or is he trying to say the N-word there?
Is that what he was trying to say? I don't even know.
That's how I took it. But
well, I don't spend a lot of time in prison, so I don't know.
Not right, I guess.
How you refer to that. All right. So let's fast forward a little bit into this 2.5 hour live stream that he did.
It was a lot, yeah.
It's a lot.
And this is what Termite told me. There's a guy who was in jail with me named Termite who has written a bunch of writs for people.
He sounds reliable. Well, if Termite said it, I believe it. For sure.
My lawyer, Termite.
Yeah, right. Well, is Termite going to start lying now? I mean, come on, guys.
And I'm going to bring him on. But you see where that jail guard position is right there. And Termite explained something to me because 4 out of 5 of these jail guards are absolute assholes.
Chille, you're an asshole. Like, does he not know he's the biggest asshole? Like, that's his whole persona on the internet, being an asshole.
Okay, well, 1 out of 5 prisoners is an asshole. But
okay, fair enough.
They're total, complete assholes. And just so you guys know, at CCDC, I will be filing a lawsuit against you 100% for what you guys did to me, for putting me in the hole and for locking me down to a bed for 24 hours when my blood pressure was 180 over 110. And you can't lock someone down to a...
Wait a second. Was there a nurse in there? Figure out if there's blood pressure. They're just like, all right, let's strap him down.
Yeah, they have him on the treadmill.
Yeah.
And not allow them to move. And we're going to find out how that goes through my federal civil rights lawsuit, because I'm going to sue the Clark County Detention Center jail 100,000%. And so the guard that starts with the letter F, remember when they came in and they locked me down for live streaming a phone call? You're getting sued. For Batu, you're getting sued. For Lausch, the lieutenant, you're getting sued. I'm suing each and every one of you. Each and every one of you is being sued for what you guys did to me. What you did is the definition of cruel and unusual punishment. And I swear to Christ, I'm suing your ass.
He's back, baby.
Yeah, I know. This is the Chille DeCastro we've been waiting for. It's 49.5 minutes in. It's like, okay, now I remember this guy.
He wiped away those tears. And the similarities between him and John don't stop, where all of a sudden he's saying the person whose name starts with an F.
Right,
He's
yes.
ripping off the deuce.
He really is, yeah.
The dabbler.
So I know for a fact he's not suing anyone because he just swore that he was. The fact that he goes, oh, and for real, I swear, I'm going to sue them 100,000,000%. I'm going to sue them. Then do it. Shut up about it.
I actually have information that says Chille DeCastro is selling his house. So keep an eye on that.
So this seems like a work that he's doing or something.
You think so?
I don't know, because I think he wants to raise a bunch of money for this lawsuit.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
I think maybe like that's what he's trying to set up right now.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I think he's, again, going back to stuttering John Melendez, and I get made fun of for comparing everything to that, but Johnson's a fascinating character. I think he's trying to win the war on too many fronts.
Yes. Well,
choose your battles wisely.
I do think the main front is the money thing, and I think he might find that well dries up pretty quickly because, and again, I get being emotional about this. He had some GoFundMe to pay his bills, like, and his lawyer fees and all that shit while he was in prison, and I assume he met all of his goals because he was thanking everyone and all of that. I think he thinks now if he just keeps setting up GoFundMes,
the gravy
he's gonna live on Easy
train
Street for the rest of his life.
The gravy train is beginning. Yes, yeah. Because suing 4 or 5 people and entities at a time is not an easy task.
No,
but you need a lot of money for it, so that's good.
Yeah.
So that works out well. All right, this is he's got another fundraiser going, everybody.
What I realized though is that these guys who are Supreme Court justices and presidents and senators, I just spent so much time learning, they die young if they don't have fun. You die young. You die in your late 60s, early 70s, but you die, that's pretty young, isn't it?
Like the
that's
two guys running for president now.
I don't want that. I don't want to die young. And so here's my idea. What I want to do is I want to have a party. That's what I want to do. So what I'm going to do is this is the fundraiser. And if you donate to the fundraiser, here's what we're going to do.
Okay. When
this fundraiser is over, and I'm going to win 7 figures for them wrongfully putting me in jail, I'm going to spend the equal amount, $100,000 in Las Vegas with the 7-figure settlement that I'm going to get from the Clark County, because I'm going to get a huge settlement from this. And I'm going to spend $100,000, the same amount I'm raising, and I'm going to get a bunch of hotel rooms, and we're going to have a giant party in Vegas. Yes. That's what we're going to do.
Springsteen's going to be there, and Taylor Swift, and it's going to be awesome.
And John Sarasate, and Bert Kreischer. Mike.
He's a child.
But it goes back to these revenge fantasies.
Yes.
That narcissists have. Like, this guy's a narcissist. He believes that he's the only thing important in the world. And so he also has delusions of grandeur. That he's just like, all right, donate to this thing. It's $100,000 I got to raise, but I'm going to make millions of dollars from this.
Yeah.
And then we'll all throw this giant party. And so you're going to get, it's going to be worth it for you to give me this money, which I don't even know if that's legal when you're raising money to promise a party at the end.
No, especially not based on some 7-figure settlement that he's going to get.
Right. Could you say, like, donate?
Promise is contingent on something that's not going to happen.
Right. Donate to this fundraiser, and we're going to party in a hotel room at the Bellagio. You and me, it's going to be so much fun. You're going to win every roll of craps. It's going to be unbelievable. The dealer will always bust if you just donate to this fundraiser. Like, hold on, can you promise all of these things? I don't think so.
I'm going to win $1 bajillion, and Penn and Teller are going to be there, and Cirque du Soleil. It's going to be so cool, guys, because I'm going to sue a bailiff who was mean to me in the courtroom.
Also, I am not a lawyer, but I spoke with one yesterday. And he said I was making some points. Anyway, the point is that I don't know that's a good idea to prove that you're in it for the payday. Like, these are not things that you want to say before a lawsuit where, oh my gosh, my rights were taken away. It's just like, he's out there going, and I'm going to make millions of dollars, and I'm going to bring all my friends out to Vegas, and we're going to party. It's just like, they're going to show that in the court and be like, can we just dismiss this clown now? Or
guys, this lawsuit is going to be so frivolous. It's going to make your head spin.
Yeah. It's not great. Like, I don't see Vincent Bessie talking about how he's going to spend the $12.5 million he's going to win from Stuttering John. Like, he's smarter than that.
Seems like that guy went to law school.
Yeah, something like that. All right, one more clip, because remember, Chille just spent 4 months in prison. And wow, that flew by for me. I don't know about you, Mike, but I was going to bed in my bedroom every night. I was enjoying my life, going to concerts. Flew by.
Chille. I had so many sleepless nights without him.
You were worried about him?
I was.
I can't believe 4 months went by, because I feel like you're just talking about this guy on the other side recently. But whatever. Yeah. It's been 4 months. And if you guys remember what he was talking about before he was arrested and thrown in jail, he was going to become governor. Which state do you ask?
Which state? Who knows?
He wasn't sure yet. He wasn't sure. He threw out there, it was Alaska, California, Nevada,
Ohio,
I think was in the mix.
Florida was a possibility.
Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. All right. So now I'm worried about him. Now that you spent this time in prison, you have these lawsuits against the bailiff and the bailiff's younger sister. Can you still run for governor? Let's find out.
And, listen, I'm not sure if you noticed or not, but I've changed my verbiage ever so slightly, and I'm keeping myself electable, because one of us has to get to the point in government where we make executive decisions to ban these torture cuffs.
So apparently he's changed the words that he's saying in order to be electable. That's smart. But right before this clip that I just played for you, he talks about how he's going to get the world's greatest attorney ever. But he lets something slip where he goes, and no attorney wants to sue a judge. I was like, yes, he probably won't get the world's best attorney. Probably get the guy will agree to do a frivolous
willing
thing.
To take whatever, yeah.
Yeah, right. If you could raise $100,000, I'm sure you could hire someone, just not probably the best attorney. But so now he thinks he's going to be the governor.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, Mike, when I was thinking about this, I really hope it comes to fruition. I would love to see him elected as a governor of a state.
Him changing his verbiage. It's kind of, if you ever hear like Dave Smith from Legion of Skanks talk about running for president, he's like, this stuff's already out there. Like,
yeah,
if they want to cancel me, they can.
Right.
We have you calling people a jackboot thug pig and making little piggy noises at them. Like, the video exists. You cannot curse now, but it's all out there already.
But Mike, do you understand what I'm saying? I want him to be elected as a governor.
Oh my God, yeah, of course.
I can't wait for the press conferences. They're going to be fucking wild.
Oh, it would be amazing.
It's going to be sick when this guy gets up there and starts talking about torture cuffs, and we're firing all the police department on day one. I can't wait.
We would just naturally, accidentally become a political show because we'd be so invested in his press briefings and just day-to-day goings on in Nevada.
Correct.
Yay, super chats.
Next Picks with $7 says, came for the hot takes of the Misfits, stayed for the world-class banter. That's right, Next Picks.
Naturally.
I don't say it enough. We start the show with banter, which no one else ever does. But the banter carries on throughout the episode. People don't realize that. We sneak it in. We're so sly with it. People don't even realize.
Yeah, we should play jingles throughout signifying when we slip into banter so people don't fall asleep on it.
No. I don't want to make it that obvious. Although I should give Next Picks his song.
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
First you say you love me, then you say you hate me. Everything turns to shit.
Thanks so much, Naxpix. You have been promoted to a general in the Dabbleverse to serve only Under Secretary of the Treasury, David Chandler.
All right, now back to the show, everybody. David Effler with $2 says trifold sale. Yeah, that was the beginning of the episode. He talked about his trifold.
Yeah, and there was a lot of that in the coverage of him, the coverage of his trial. The people filling in on his channel were like, "Make sure you buy those trifolds, guys. That's it's what everyone needs right now."
G. Rob says Chille was in jail, not prison. Big difference. That is true.
You're right. I'm sorry.
That is a good point. Although, if you hear the way that Chille describes it, you would think that he was in max security.
The man was clearly raped. Let's stop dancing around it. Like that was.
Now, I've noticed that a lot of people on YouTube have to get creative with how they spell things in order to have funny words and dirty words and things. How is Cunt Chops 23 with 5 pounds able to get away with this, Cunt Chops?
It's a rare slice of meat, actually, and it's quite tasty.
Oh, I want to try these Cunt Chops now that you talk about it. Okay, he cries, did a paltry amount of porridge, and he's a shit. But who is he and why do we care? Please inform my chops. Solidarity. Okay, so Chile DeCastro, Delete Laws, has almost 600,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah.
And if you're not familiar with what's the other channel that does a great job of Douchebag Patrol or what's it called?
Dickbag Patrol.
Dickbag Patrol.
Yeah.
Check out Dickbag Patrol. He does some great videos on this guy. Basically what Delete Laws does, this guy Chile DeCastro. So he was arrested for selling the date rape drug back when he was supposed to be a big Hollywood star. Yeah. That changed his career trajectory. He's very upset with the police over it. So now he tries to ruin police officers' lives every day, all day. And there's a lot more to it than that, but that's kind of my summary.
Yeah, I forget we haven't talked about him in so long that some people are like, who the fuck is this guy?
He's a character.
We loved him.
He is an interesting character. I'll never forget the woman who talked about how her son was killed by the police. I think it was in Ohio.
Yeah, I think of her every time we talk about this asshole.
Yeah, and so Chile DeCastro contacted her and said, I want to come and help. She said, great. And he did nothing but stay in her house for 30 days and was a slob and provided no help whatsoever. Just
Walked
took advantage
around in
of
a towel.
Yeah.
Demanded things.
Would drink a bottle of water and just throw it on the floor. Like it was like Senator John's mom's house. Like, you gotta be more respectful than that. What are you doing?
Pig. He's a pig, ironically.
Get Off My Lawn podcast with $3 says, we need Chile on Team Melendez. Make it happen, please. That would be fun.
They should, if they
Those teamed up.
If he sets his sights on senator instead of governor, I think he and John could make a run.
They could really, yes. I think you're onto something. All right, we got to head over to TikTok. That's where all the action is. I don't use TikTok, but I'm not going to lie. It's my favorite part of this show.
TikTok's a psyop by the Chinese to fuck up the minds of our youth and some other people too. So let's talk quite a lot about these TikTokers we stalk and know. Oh, TikTok fucking blows.
I think it was Chris Holm and maybe someone else who requested the original TikTok, the AI TikTok jingle. That jingle is so good that I took it off the board.
I don't even know if I remember it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. All right, so stop requesting it. That's the winner from here on out. That's what you're going to hear. Julia Fox. Oh, this poor woman.
She's been held down in her
What
career.
she has to deal with, Mike, I don't wish on my worst enemy.
No.
This is crazy.
Okay, so the craziest thing just happened to me, and I am looking for validation on this because
First off, and Mike can't see this, but I'm pretty sure that she's the one who stole Chad's lip.
Oh no.
Holy shit. It's ridiculous.
Some injections happening?
Share some with the rest of the class, please, Julia, if you're going to bring that much.
I like coming to and saying hey, the proper response to this would be to say I'm right. So just go in knowing that.
Okay, yeah, I like that. I'm going to need validation on this one, so if you have another comment, go away, please. All right, fair enough.
I just feel like I'm being gaslit at such an insane scale. I took notes. So, I've been attached to a project for 5 years. I've really, given creative contributions to it, emotional contributions to it. It was like my baby.
All right, again, Mike, maybe it's because we're men.
Sure.
Have you ever complained about a project you were involved in because you put so many emotional contributions into it?
Oh my God. Every podcast I've done that no one watched, I was like,
Yeah.
The industry is fucking me over here. This is my baby.
Yeah, I put so much emotional time and energy into this.
Yeah.
How dare they?
It should be successful now. I've earned that.
A dummy.
I even brought on a major A-list icon to play alongside me. And everything was going great until this white man director came in.
I already hate him. White man director?
Probably that bitch Scorsese.
I was going to say,
coming for too long.
there's only a couple of them, so we'll probably be able to narrow it down.
let's just say our first phone call didn't go very well. I thought it went well, but I guess it didn't go well for him.
That's interesting right there. She thought it went well. Okay. She was on a phone call. Their first phone call with this director didn't go well. She thought it went well, but apparently it didn't go well. Yeah. And I think that's a weird way to set this up, what you're about to hear.
Yes.
And he was trying to kick me off the project. Meanwhile, I've been there for 5 years. He's been there for a week. So we have a second call.
Also, if you're on a project that hasn't gotten off the ground in 5 years, I don't know how much you're contributing to it.
Yeah, and the other thing I'm hung up on is like, what A-list actor would agree to be the second lead to Julia Fox?
Because of Julia Fox, not like she's the one who brought him in too.
Right? Yeah,
it's a buddy of hers. Or
I'm
something.
starting to think some half-truths are being told here.
Interesting. You know, I don't know Julia Fox to lie. Oh, by the way, speaking of which, we got to schedule our crossover before the end of the month.
Yes.
Mike and I will be doing another crossover bonus show. If you support either the Blind Mike Project or Who Are These Podcasts on Patreon or YouTube, then you will get access to our bonus show. This will be the 4th installment.
I believe that's right, yeah. And if you guys like horse shit like this, you'll
Yeah.
love Down the Drain by Julia Fox.
There are so many whoppers in this book. It's incredible. But okay, let's get back to this dumb shit.
And on the first call, I had mentioned that I really thought it was important to have diversity in our cast, in our lead cast.
And Hollywood was like, whoa, diversity? Not around here, toots.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Bitch.
It's literally the only way you can win an Oscar now is you have to have like 50%. Like, this is not a new concept in Hollywood. She's acting like she's introducing this to these white men for the
That was
first
my
time.
main takeaway, is this feels like I found a video from 2015 or something.
Or 1978. You know what I mean? It's like, it's ridiculous.
It just doesn't hold up today.
No, it definitely does not.
Our cast, in our lead cast. And I took notes because he said, why? White people have it really hard too. And plus, diversity casting is like using black people as puppets. Meanwhile, we're actors. We're all fucking puppets. What are you talking about? Anyway, white people don't have a duty to cast black people because so many black projects happen. And
do you think any of this was said, Mike? Does it sound realistic to you in any way?
So is that why Kumia sold Compound? Because he's doing so much directing now? That's crazy.
I know, I was going to say, unless it was Kumia or Gavin McGinnis or Owen Benjamin, like, no one talks like this. This is an insane way to have a conversation with other people.
I'm sure the Coen brothers were like, whites only, you bitch.
Listen, Julia, if you're looking for a diverse cast, just get in this Star Wars project. I'm sure the Acolyte would love to have you.
Cast black people because so many black projects happen and Asian projects, and nobody gets mad that there's no white people in the cast.
I do. I'm just kidding. It's all good.
A director in 1978 would have read this transcript and been like, well, that's a little over the line.
Yeah. No shit.
He said, turn on Netflix, turn on any streamer. It's all black projects.
Oh, she's getting fired up.
Go to India. All the movies in India have all Indian people. Wow. Nobody gets mad that they don't have diversity.
Dude, this guy is based. Whoever this guy is, I'm going to start checking out some of his projects. I'm guessing Spielberg, but I don't know for sure.
Find a white person in an Indian movie, idiot.
It's so stupid.
And I said, honey, white people have been the default up until now, okay? Let them have their all Indian movies. Like,
what? How did we get here?
Let them have their all Indian movies. As if Bollywood just started doing this.
Even the racist guy in her story wasn't taking away Indian movies.
Correct.
He was saying there's a lot of movies without white people in them.
Yeah. He's like, it's okay if there is a movie or whatever this project is that has some white people in it. That's just plenty to offset it.
Julia, you have an A-list actor attached, and you're white. You're talking yourself out of a job here. Who do you think they're going to replace?
Is she white, though?
She's Italian.
Right. I can't. You guys are all, Italians are great. We love you.
Oh, I see.
Then he said, What are you talking about? Wake up. We are in 2024. This isn't 2005 or something.
Remember, this is the call that she thought went well. So apparently she was schooling this guy. She's like, well, that went well. I taught him a lesson.
What a lovely chat.
So I guess according to him, racism is a thing of the past. It was giving Proud Boy. It was giving All Lives Matter. It was giving white supremacy. And at that point, I was done arguing. And I said, you know what?
What?
I can't work with you.
No, you
I'm
did.
done. I'm
No,
pulling
you
out of
did.
this project. Good luck.
And they're like, all right, thank you for doing that. That's why they brought him in, was just to get Julia Fox off the project.
Here's an extra $5 million,
Yes.
sir.
Congratulations, you did it.
But unfortunately, I have very strong beliefs, and these are things that I will not compromise on. Then I said that white people have a duty to include minority groups into our projects because we have opportunities handed to us so much more easily.
Okay, you're right. She is a white person. The fact that she's like, these white people get projects thrown at them. You do. Yeah, I mean, if you want to talk about being privileged, my last name isn't Fox. I'm not as privileged as Julia Fox is.
It's very strange for her to be talking about how angry she is that white people are in this movie when she cast herself.
Well, also, I'm assuming her A-list friend is probably white too, right? Because that's part of the diversity she's looking for.
I guess so, yeah. None of this makes any sense to me, and the idea that she's now walking away from the project after 5 years of passionately pleading for it.
Right.
He said that wasn't true. They don't. He was saying that he has had a hard time. And he's probably had a hard time because of his shitty fucking personality.
Nice.
Unlike you, who's a treat to be around.
Seem like sunshine and roses.
Are you seeing a trend here? These people are the biggest shitheads in the world. Go out and be like, I just met a guy who's a real prick. Like, yeah, well.
Anyone who says that in that tone, anyone who says, because of your shitty fucking personality.
Yeah.
They not see the irony that's dripping out of them?
They do not, which is why she's the one who recorded this and posted it on TikTok. I can't stress that enough. We're not peeking into the blinds and recording a conversation she's having. This is literally what she thought she should put out to the world.
Well, it is our fault because she did start by saying, you guys need to validate me, and we didn't follow the rules.
That's true. That's a good point, yes. I already forgot. It's such a fucking long video. I already forgot. That's how she started it.
Anyway, yeah, I'll probably out him at some point, but obviously, you know, I've grown to love the people attached, the producers, the writers, the other actor in question, and I don't want to like blow up this whole thing for them, but I just can't believe I'm having conversations like this. In 2024, I'm just so
Can I just say, if
heartbroken
Julia
and so-
Fox sold a film, wouldn't it be pretty easy to zero in on what movie that is?
Well, you know, whatever project this is, if it does end up seeing the light of day, we'll know exactly who she's talking about.
Yeah, like, I'm not going to out them. But also,
Yeah.
it's like, you know, I'm a better person than this guy, and I think the more humane thing to do would be to let him look over his shoulder for the rest of his career.
Right. Like, why not settle it with that person directly? Why are you taking it to TikTok if you're such a better person?
Right.
So appalled. I feel so gaslit.
It's not what gaslighting is.
Yeah. Anyway, you live and you learn. I'd like to add another anecdote.
Oh, God, please.
Because of me insisting to have diversity in our lead cast, he said it felt like you wanted to be the director or something. And in that moment,
No, that'd be like the casting agent, wouldn't it? Or what's that? It's not the director who decides who plays the roles, right?
That's a good point.
Casting director, yeah. Okay.
he really showed not just his racism, but also his misogyny, because I didn't tap dance for him. I didn't do the little pleasantries. I didn't do the, I love your movies. His movies suck.
Okay. Now you're just getting a little bit petty. But I don't
Good thing we got him as a director.
I just want to point out that Julia Fox, if you're trying to sound like you're smarter than everyone else, maybe don't have an affect on your voice that makes you sound like a fucking drooling idiot.
It is, for someone to talk about privilege and then argue like a 14-year-old girl.
Yeah.
His movies suck.
Yeah, and you know
I
what?
hate him.
And they brought in this guy as a big director that everybody knows, and his movies aren't even very good. I would love to know what she thinks is a good movie versus a bad movie. I'd love to know.
Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems.
I just, we'd been on the project for 5 years. I just wanted it to get made at that point, and I was being very direct with him in the things that I thought we needed in order to make this movie amazing for all groups of people to be able to enjoy. And he just completely sucked the life out of it. I think he's a covert narcissist because he does not present himself in this way.
It's amazing how many narcissists accuse other people of being a narcissist. Like, she's a raging overt narcissist. And she's going, I think he's a covert narcissist. It's a Hollywood director. What do you think?
It's imagine a director of any level, any varying success. You pick one in your mind.
Yeah.
And they say, hey, so we got some news. We are hiring you for this project. Julia Fox is attached to it. And he's like, fuck. And they're like, hold on, it gets worse. She's got a lot to say about it.
Yeah, she insists that the cast be ridiculous. So wait, the white mom and the black father have an Asian kid? All right, yeah, no, that's fine. Let's just go with it. That's great.
He's actually very docile and sweet, seemingly. And that's why I almost prefer like macho kind of guys, because at least they're not fucking pretending, With these covert like feminine guys, they're the worst.
She's talking about Woke Dad right now. I think she's shots are fired. Maybe Woke Dad was on this project.
Julia, you should have said, when you were talking about privilege and the downtrodden and all that stuff, you should have mentioned this guy was a little homo. Then we'd all be on your side.
and the guy ended the call with, just do it. And I was like, what the?
Anyway, yep, that's where I'm at. Share your thoughts in the comments.
Okay, we will. That sounds good.
A tremendous pain in the ass.
She sucks in every single way possible.
I can't wait to see that movie, though.
You know who doesn't suck? That's my boy, Rock O or B, 2002 with $5. I thought he had a personalized jingle, but I'm not seeing it over here for some reason. But Rock O or B says, Julia Fox is not an actor, but she looks like a puppet. She does not look human. That is for sure. She's a weird looking person.
Well, you have to get some work done to stay relevant in Hollywood,
Do you remember when we talked about her dating Ye and someone at TMZ? They dated for like 2 months and someone at TMZ said they never fucked.
Oh, yeah. We talked about that recently, right?
Yeah, that was the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
They played Uno or something.
Like, Ye's a billionaire. Why would he waste his time? Doesn't even make sense.
She's a conversationalist.
Turd Burglar, $5 says, I really catch you guys live. Since I did this time, I'll leave you with an ancient Chinese proverb to help you in life. Everybody Wang Chung tonight.
That's good advice.
It is good advice. Thank you. It will help me in my life. All right. Speaking of Woke Dad, he's still TikToking away.
Oh, boy, is he.
Let's see what Straw Man.
I want to say one thing about Daniel Alexander. Is
Please.
like there are weeks where I'm like, okay, we've talked about Woke Dad X number of weeks in a row, so this week I'll take off. But then my TikTok algorithm knows me, so when I sign in, I see a video of his. I'll just say, like, if there's ever, I'll never force Daniel Alexander talk on people, but every fucking week this guy posts so much. There's shit we have to. It's our duty to talk about this because it's so incredibly douchey.
Well, let me give you credit real quick because you discovered Daniel Alexander, and we started talking about it on this show. And then my buddy Drew Lane picked up on it. And then
it's a phenomenon, yes.
He insisted on talking about it on his show. And now most times I'm on their show, we play some clips and some TikToks. This guy is a hit in Detroit. This is one of the biggest celebrities in Detroit. And they all call him Woke Dad, which was your name for him.
He's prolific.
I remember the first time you sent me this, you're just like, you labeled it Woke Dad. I was like,
yeah, I don't think I knew his name at the time.
So yeah, it didn't matter. That's just how we do him.
Yeah.
So he's got a strange take on this Donald Trump thing that you guys might have heard about this in the news. I don't know. Oh, wait, don't we have a stinger for? Wait, we have a stinger or two for this guy.
You can't play without the stinger.
Jesus, what am I thinking? Holy shit.
Sitting in my mobile coffee shop, making videos about my transvestite children for TikTok.
And who could forget?
I would do anything in my power to keep him happy, healthy, and safe. The name that they would call their superhero was I stand up against injustice. Standing up for
That's the Detroit Dabbling Machine who put together that song.
It would have seemed silly if we didn't play those. Quite
Oh my gosh, I caught myself. Thank God. All right, so this is a very different video for him. He's laying in bed. He's got the light from his phone, I guess, is illuminating his face. I suppose. Yeah. It's not his normal hat in the coffee shop.
Not his
kind
normal
of video.
anything. His tone, anything about it.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what he's talking about here.
Do you really want to know what keeps me up at night?
Nope.
Thoughts and prayers. If you truly are one of those people who thinks this was an act of God, that one man is still here today because it missed by inches, all while another man doesn't get to go home to his family.
All right. I was curious which straw man he'd be arguing with today, but holy shit. I had no idea it'd be this one. This is an insane thing to keep you up at night.
What I like about that video is the image of his first take when he starts talking.
Yeah.
His wife just, what happened? And he's like, oh, no, I'm just pandering to the internet. Sorry, honey.
Yeah. I'll start over. Don't worry about it.
Wow, the God that you worship either is not omnipotent or is not all good. If you're outraged in this moment, I need you to remember that energy the next time this happens to a child, to an elementary school teacher, to a middle school teacher, to a high school teacher, and the kids that
the list
they
goes
keep
on.
safe.
Vocational school.
Gym coach. Summer school.
Driver's license instructor.
For God's sake. As a white person, if you
Whoa. Let me stop you right there. You don't get to speak on my behalf, sir, as a white person.
Even as a lowly white, I have a take on this.
Anyone who starts a sentence with "as a white person," I am tuned the fuck out. Let's hear it. Why not?
As a white person, if you keep posting that this is the most gangsta thing you've ever seen in your life, just sit this one out.
Okay.
Just take a break.
All right, so this is an interesting conundrum, in my opinion, because what happened is a white guy got shot at by a white guy, and the bullet missed him but killed a white guy at a Trump rally. But white people have to sit this one out with their opinion?
Well, it's also interesting because he's saying a specific take that's not allowed, where the take he's referring to, I heard from black people. Like Cam Patterson, who's a black comic, tweeted a joke about how Trump is more like a rapper than anything else.
Yep.
And it's like, that's the take he's referring. So is like, are black people allowed to say that? But white people, why is that? What's happening, Daniel? Explain this.
Well, he's one of these guys who doesn't believe in free speech. Like, literally, if you have the wrong opinion, you're not allowed to talk. Right. So, Daniel, I just want you to think about that next time you might have a wrong opinion. Because it's very easy for this guy because, of course, every media entity, every school, like, it all backs him up. So he can say whatever the fuck he wants. But if someone has a different opinion, well, it's wrong, and you're not allowed to say it. And sit it out.
And to me, the greatest part of any of these videos are always the part we don't see. Because it's so calculated, where he's like, all right, I'm going to be really, really somber now. Am I sad or am I more stressed and concerned? I'll go with concerned.
Yeah, over something that doesn't mean anything. And this is an asshole who's living his life on the internet. And we do a show about social media. I promise you, Mike and I don't give a fuck about social media, which is why we're able to do this show. Because literally, whenever people are tweeting, never's kept me up at night once. I don't know those people. I don't give a fuck. Doesn't matter. Doesn't change my life in any single way. This guy's going, there's a white people with the wrong take on Twitter, and I can't sleep over it. Get a fucking life.
That's what I mean about the calculated thing. He's like, to show that he can't sleep, he's making a video in the middle of the night.
Right.
Like a fucking maniac.
Like a maniac. Daniel, you're getting worse, buddy. But thank you. Keep it up. We appreciate it. All right. This is another one. I love these videos because, spoiler, this one starts with the words, "You won't believe what just happened to me," which is my favorite type of video that this guy puts out. You won't believe. No, you're right, I won't believe it because it's a lie. I don't believe lies. That's
Would
a
I be
thing I do.
overstating to say it's his crazy? I always have recency bias. If I said
Yeah.
this was his craziest video, would you argue with me?
Oh man, I mean, there's a lot of videos where kids are attracted to him and
I know,
trying to
yeah,
flirt
we'd have
with
to go
them.
back to the archives.
So
and rank
it's
them.
it's one of those types of videos. Like, so I don't know. Maybe I'm unapproachable. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I'm not wearing the right T-shirt. But I've never once had a 9-year-old try to fuck me or make eyes at me from across the way at the Lego store.
At least not successfully.
Maybe I'm not picking up on it. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's a me problem. All right. Let's see what he's talking about. It's enough banter.
God, you won't believe what just happened to me. I don't believe what just happened to me. I went into a store to get Legos. Because who doesn't need Legos? I mean, full disclosure, they're going to be used for the art studio, but I got them for something that my partner needed to use them for as well.
Wait, so this was a multi-purpose Lego shopping trip?
Yeah.
Hey, you have to explain yourself, sir. The Lego store is very popular. I see a lot of people in the store all the time. It's fine.
Yeah, sir, one package of walking around Legos and then business Legos.
Yeah, right. It's so weird that he felt the need to justify being. This is the most normal thing about your day is that you go to a Lego store. It's fine.
Well, and there was a young kid in the store who saw my shirt and came running full blast, almost knocked me over. And
all right, the shirt that he's wearing is "Science is real."
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter. No human is illegal, etc., etc. You've all seen this. We've all seen this. This is nothing groundbreaking or new, but this is the shirt that he's wearing.
Is he Homer Simpson? Does he just have one outfit?
Yeah, he dresses like a cartoon. You're right.
came running full blast, almost knocked me over, and just wrapped themselves around me, gave me a big old hug. And I'm 100% about consent, but when it's
whoa! A small child right over give you a hug, and your first thought was consent?
Listen, no one loves consent more than me, but when it comes to a young child,
Mike,
consent be damned.
Mike, we've speculated on this show before about what's going through this guy's head.
Yeah.
And there have been people who have written in who think maybe some bad things going on with him. This is not going to help his cause. Talking about a child giving him a bear hug, and he's not thinking about consent.
Not in the court of public opinion, anyways.
Wow.
People might have some things to say.
Dan, what are you doing? You're stepping in it.
Consent be damned.
But when it's a young kid who just needs to feel seen, man.
Oh, Daniel, I think some of the kids on Epstein's Island needed to be seen.
That's true.
I think a lot of young children, I think consent should be first and foremost with these kids.
Yeah, there's a 15-year-old with low self-esteem. It's just like, if only an ex-president wants to fuck me, then I'm going to feel good about myself.
When it comes, I'm all about consent, but when it comes to children, what a crazy sentence.
What a dumb thing to say. I love that, yeah, going back to Epstein's Island, there's a girl who just like didn't feel like she fit in, and then she's like, the guy who invented Windows operating system just finger blasted me. I'm someone.
Nice.
Can I get taken off of YouTube for saying this? I don't know. Probably. Bill Gates is great, everyone.
Yes.
So I do get a lot of controversy for wearing shirts like this, for wearing shirts in support of people, but
no, that's the least controversial shirt I've ever seen in my life. Literally, most of my neighbors have that sentiment in their lawn. It's the least controversial thing you could ever do. To have a shirt that says Black Lives Matter, you think that's controversial? You fucking moron.
I know you're just as much of a radio nerd as I am. Do you remember in the 90s when the FCC kept hugging Howard Stern? It got a little, not when he just kept talking about it every day. The FCC keeps hugging me. I'm so controversial.
It's the opposite of controversial, you dummy. And this kid sees that all the fucking time. They go to school. They know. Pride flags. They've seen them.
wearing shirts in support of people, but there are kids out there who don't see representation in this world and definitely don't see dads like me who care.
So he's getting all choked up about how amazing he is for wearing this shirt. Mike, is he reading into this too much? So this kid, I don't believe any of this, but let's say this happened. This kid runs over and gives him a big hug.
Yeah.
Maybe knows his TikTok. He knows he's a big celebrity. Maybe
he's knocking fucking Tonka trucks off the shelf.
maybe he's a Drew Lane podcast fan. I don't know. I don't know why he's excited to see
taking the bike rack over.
Dan Alexander. But Dan immediately jumps to this conclusion that he saw his shirt and needed to embrace this guy for representing him and embracing him and him being seen. This is how you think. This is not how children think, idiot. He's
So
really
if you ever wonder why
choked
I
up.
do it, it isn't because I'm trying to piss somebody off at the store. It's because I get to take care of those kids too. I get to show them that people care.
Because I get such uproarious praise.
Have a great day.
Yeah, I know. What an asshole. He really is outdoing himself with this. Jesus Christ. What's wrong with him?
The kid pushed over an old lady to get to me, to give me a big hug.
And it's so weird how children are attracted to him for some reason. This is at least the third video I've seen about a child wanting to get with him. I consent be damned.
It is almost like he's like laying out an alibi. He's like, Your Honor, as you can see in my videos, these kids
I see
coming
what's going
after
on.
me.
I want to... God, I'm getting choked up. I want to thank Milk John's mom for $1.50. Thank you very much. Chad's missing upper lip, $2. One is WTP at the State Theater.
Oh, never. They're very bad people.
What is that a reference to?
The Kirk Minahan show every March the last couple of years, played a live show at the State Theater in Portland, Maine. And this year they went to book again. They were like, hey, we're looking to come back in March or whatever. And the president of the theater emailed back and said, basically, we don't like your kind here.
Wow.
And so Kirk was like reading the email. They like, I guess, don't like what Barstool Sports and Kirk's show represent. And Kirk was like, so you guys going to return the money from the last 2 years or what? Like,
You're
we
right.
obviously don't want our blood money.
Yeah, it's 30%, so
Yeah.
maybe
But yeah, they're arch enemies now.
I love that Kirk's getting into the Centering John game. That's awesome.
Yeah, the call with the FBI was very fun.
It's hilarious.
And ever since then, John's been quiet, so maybe it doesn't
Yeah, it's
impact
funny
him.
how that works. Well, I talked to his attorney yesterday, and he's been quiet about that, too.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Yay, super chats.
I want to thank Durkee Threads for gifting 5 Who Are These Podcast memberships. Thank you very much for that, Durkee. If you were gifted a membership, turn on accept gifted memberships if you don't have that on. And you'll probably see a notification if you don't. But if you were gifted a membership, you get to get the bonus episodes of Who Are These Podcasts. And you can also watch the show live Wednesdays and Saturdays. Go to the community tab on our YouTube page, and you'll find links to all of the old episodes that we've done, as well as the upcoming shows that we're doing. Now, Mike, speaking of WATP, we highlighted the show yesterday, and it was called Parallel Play. And it featured these two women who are a comedy duo of some type, and were just the most obnoxious women you've ever heard in your life. And one of them was Harper Rose Drummond. And I thought I would look her up because you're a big stand-up guy.
Sure.
She's a stand-up.
Ooh.
I figured, why don't I look her up? We could see what her stand-up's like.
It's exciting. I love finding new young stand-ups.
Yeah, so this is her TikTok. And I'm going to start with, one that we can all get behind, of course, crowd work. Who doesn't like a good crowd work stand-up video? And again, I'll remind everyone, I didn't find the worst part of her show and highlight it. She put this up on her TikTok to highlight her stand-up comedy stylings.
Okay.
Okay, I see you, Mr. Glasses. You look like you invented Monopoly. And
I am white, so I could have.
Okay. Don't hit me, I'll come. Okay. I am white, so I could have. Okay. I bet when that person yelled out their salary of $85,000, you threw up. You're like, too low. Okay. Everyone in here is like, what's a landlord? Okay, you are one, so relax. You look like you invented time. Stop. Okay. What if someone just threw a hammer at me? Okay, anyway. This room has me acting the f*** up. Okay. Whoa! So many characters. in the front. He's nodding. He's like, it does, little girl. Okay.
What are they serving these people?
Well, first of all, I've never heard a crowd work clip where the audience is equally as unfunny as the comic.
That's
the guy's
true.
like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm white, so I could be. It's like, what does that mean?
I like that she points to an old guy and goes, like, you look like you invented time.
Yeah, that's very clever.
Good
But
stuff.
it seems like, and I'm only basing this off the one clip that I've heard, but it seems like she's kind of doing the old trope that a lot of comics used to do, where it's like she's just pointing at no one and be like, this guy gets what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. When you go see these crowd work people, they do the same act every time. And it's just like, oh, I bet this guy works at Best Buy. And you're like, okay. Why? Because you got 12 jokes about guys that work at Best Buy? Yes, that is why I think it looks like he works at Best Buy. Okay, cool. So the crowd work stuff is not, and I'm guessing she's sweetening that audio because everyone's like losing their mind over these
raucous.
jokes. Yes.
Yeah.
Fucking nuts. So let's find out what her material is like.
Okay.
Enough with this crowd work stuff off the cuff. Let's see when she actually sits down and puts a pen to paper and crafts a joke.
Good.
Let's see what that's like.
My dad is a cute little closeted man, and I think that's fun. And I used to be a little closeted man myself. And I had masculine energy. My mom and I both had, like, there's not one drop of femininity in my mom and I's bodies. We're like, what's up? I know something, I eat it! It's like, yikes.
Sounds like someone's been watching Jordan Jensen a little too much.
Wow. Yeah, what is that style? It's so it's so abrasive. Like, she seems nervous. She's not smooth. Like, she doesn't come across like she's owning the stage. She's intimidated by it.
This feel, I don't know anything about her career, but it does feel like she's kind of ripping off Jordan Jensen's thing a little bit.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I don't know who came first or anything, but
Who came first? Well, here's a longer bit that she put out. I think she's pretty new on the scene, but I could be wrong about that. Well, here's a longer bit. Let's judge her based on this one. Again, she posted this on her TikTok. It's probably hysterical.
I had an interesting childhood. Interesting is just kind of like a nice, like, sweet word for bad. My mom sat me down one time and she was like, honey, I want you to know when you grow up, you can be anything in the world that you want to be. I was like, really? I'm like, well, what are you? She's like, honey, your father and I, we are writers. We're writers. We're journalists. And I was like, whoa, okay. Because looking around, it kind of seems like we are poor. Spaghetti again. The claps are from that tax bracket, and I like that. It has a good meal. You can freeze it. Relax. It is a good meal. Parmesan. That's your nickname for the rest of the show. So, he hits me with a hammer. Stop, I'll come.
What's the hitting me with a hammer? That must be a callback to something.
the thing, she keeps referencing hammers, so maybe but she's posting these, so I don't know.
Right.
They must make sense. But here's the other, I'm assuming she's young.
Yes, 20s.
Yeah, so one of my biggest problems with comedy now, it's not anyone's fault, it's just the model of the business. I guess they have to do it, or they feel like they have to anyways. But like, people post their stand-up way too early.
Yes.
Like, I think we're just poor. And the spaghetti thing, like, that's a premise I've heard 40 million times. And it's a pretty natural premise for, like, someone in their early 20s to get to. You shouldn't be posting it online. It sucks that they feel like they have to do that because they're going to be embarrassed by it later.
So wait, you're saying that there should be like a joke there or something?
Ideally, yeah.
Yeah. Ideally, you wouldn't just say that we grew up poor. You'd have a joke about it. Like, we get it. Spaghetti's not expensive, but
have a twist on it of some
You're right. Do something different with it. All right. I introduced us, and this was a little while ago, to Hard Rock Nick. Do you remember Hard Rock Nick?
That name sounds familiar. I don't know why I know it, though.
Well, you know it because I introduced it on this show, and Hard Rock Nick was this guy who was a billionaire.
Oh, yes.
I think he's one of the 50 richest people in the world. He lives in Miami. He likes to rub that in our faces. And he has a TikTok, and he has a social media presence. Well, apparently, and thank you, Jada Smoke in Discord, for pointing this out, he's now dropping a podcast.
Oh, excellent. Just what everyone needed.
And this first episode, he keeps his podcast episodes to 5 minutes, which is good.
All right.
And the first episode, he's going to explain what this podcast is all about. So I thought we'd play that.
Welcome to Hard Pod Nick. I'm your host, Hard Rock Nick.
He calls it Hard Pod Nick. Hard Rock Nick has a podcast called Hard Pod Nick. Pretty good, huh?
That is rough. All right.
Welcome to Hard Pod Nick. I'm your host, Hard Rock Nick. Little deep linked here, little more of a serious turn into something I haven't done on social media before. And I'm really excited to share some of my opinions, beliefs, values, and so forth with all of you out there. A little bit of a different podcast format. Not going to interview people per se, but like to just sort of check in with all of you once a week. Just sort of a nice little podcast. Keep it around 5 minutes.
Hey,
so
is this fucking thief just bantering?
Wait, I don't think you're allowed to banter by yourself, though. I don't think that's a ripoff.
Oh, all right. All right.
I'll
He
let
was
that slide.
dangerously close there for a second.
What's funny to me is that he calls it a podcast. It's 5 minutes, and it's also a TikTok video. So, I don't know. He's getting real loose with the term podcast. These kids are getting real loose with that term these days.
The world's changing awfully fast.
It sure is.
Keep it around 5 minutes. So let me know from time to time what topics or subjects are on your mind. There's obviously a lot of things we can talk about,
like
politics, relationships, housing, COVID-19,
okay.
What?
You know, family, jobs, school, you know, starting over in life. A lot of people have questions. A lot of people need answers, and a lot of people, you know, are torn between a lot of different things.
All right, so Mike, I think this guy might need some direction. I don't think he's ready to start a podcast yet.
I wouldn't be so sure. A lot of my friends know like this kind of stuff I talk about on my show.
Yeah.
So sometimes they'll say, Mike, do you have any good podcasts that cover both housing and COVID-19 per se in the year 2024?
Yeah, I want to know about things like school and
also,
relationships.
Hey, Mike, do you know of any podcasts that in a 5-minute span cram in 43 different topics? Would that be possible?
This guy, I'll play a little bit more of this. This is, again, 5 minutes. I can't listen to the whole thing.
That there are to do in the world. Some people feel stuck as well. So I want to help people out here on this podcast, Hard Pod Nick, and I think life can be hard, and I think that's a great name for this podcast, and I think my name lends itself to it.
Nope.
So what we're going to talk about
Not even
today
close.
real quick is, you know, I think one thing that's going on in the world, we have...
Oh, God, the lip smacking. Oh, I don't edit my podcast anymore. I have someone to do that for me, thank God. But I used to be able to recognize a lip smack just by the waveform in my software. I'd see that and be like, motherfucker, these goddamn lip smacks. It's so obnoxious. You got to stop doing it, people.
Do we know if he's actually rich? Have we verified that?
We have no idea.
Okay.
This all seems so made up.
Yeah.
This seems like a character.
It's not very well produced, I guess is my point.
Well, good point. He's not using a microphone, so yeah, it's part of the problem. Yeah.
Name lends itself to it. So what we're going to talk about today real quick is, you know, I think one...
So, Mike, you know, I was thinking for WATS in the future, like maybe we should, you know, more long-form blog content.
Okay, fine. Whatever you want.
Could you imagine if I was your co-host and I was doing that the whole time? It's drive you fucking nuts. Anyway, we'll keep an eye on Hard Rock Nick.
Hard Pod Nick. Yes.
Well,
that's
his
very
show is
exciting.
called Hard Pod Nick.
I understand. Yeah.
But he is quite the character.
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
Thanks for the super chat, Matthew Rowley. 1 dot to dots, 3 dots. 1 dot, 3 dots for blind Mike is skull in braille.
This is a good question. Matthew Rowley says for $5, Karl, are the reviews of John's book available for YouTube members or just Patreon? That's a good point. You know, I always tell people you can sign up for Patreon or YouTube. Patreon has the whole back catalog. Yeah. Everything's archived there. YouTube is just since I started doing YouTube members, I've been putting stuff up there ever since then. So yeah, if you want to get the whole back catalog, Patreon's the way to go. If you've been giving me money on YouTube, message me, and I'll see if I can help you out with that.
As someone who also has a YouTube channel, if Karl posted John's book unedited on YouTube now, that'd be a whole different can of worms than the way
It sure would.
He's already
yes.
done it.
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
for the super chat, Miguel. We sure appreciate it. Blind Mike might not be able to see, but we know for sure he can at least smell that Karl has frosted tips.
Miguel says, I didn't think you could catch ADHD from watching stand-up until today. Thanks, Karl and Mike. Yes.
A little all over the place, yeah.
That woman will give you a lot of different acronyms if you spend too much time with her. So definitely be careful. All right, Mike, you and I talk to each other, and I feel like that's enough. But no, it's not. We also have voicemails. You listeners and viewers can call us. Go to whoarethese.com. You can find the phone number. Leave us a voicemail. Keep it under 45 seconds, and we might just play it on the show.
Hey, Karl, this is for Who Are These Socials? Blind Mike, I hope you're coming to the magic bag. I have a present for you. If you remember, a couple weeks ago, I gouged my son's eyes out so that you could be his hero.
Yeah.
So I got those for you. I was telling the girlfriend I'd be willing to go out there and drive Blind Mike back. And then she pointed out that I'm an asshole. I'd probably just drive you to Cape Coral, Florida, and leave you at John's mom's house. So there's that. All right, shoot.
Well, Mike, get some eyeballs in it for you if you want to come to Detroit, October 25th.
Okay, I didn't quite understand. So he's going to give me the eyeballs.
Yes.
Okay. I
mean, you do own eyeballs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
and
think
I
you
don't know
do.
how surgically those were removed, so it might be an issue.
I think it was a ice cream scooper.
I appreciate the gesture nonetheless, so I kind of owe it to him to meet up with him.
All right, well, there you go. We'll be there, buddy.
Yeah.
WATPlive.com. Oh, no, that's for the DabbleCon 2,
Yes.
August 16th and 17th. TheMagicBag.com, October 25th. We'll be back in Detroit, Michigan at the Magic Bag. Looking forward to that. And tickets are selling, so get on it if you want to come see us.
Hey, Karl, this is for Who Are These Socials, but whoever else. My girlfriend saw the hot Tua chick and was not impressed.
Okay.
But then I showed her the Juicy Laura. I got her the big whoopee cushion. Some of them might have been queef. I'm sorry. All right.
Yeah, Laura Juicy TV is not using a whoopee cushion. She is authentic and the real deal.
It feels all too real, quite frankly.
It is. It is all too real.
This is a WATS related voicemail. Just had a good thought. How about having Kevin, your old Who Are These Podcasts co-host, as, you know, a guest spot on Who Are These Socials? I think Blind Mike and Kevin would be a great pairing. A little Cobra Commander.
Really?
Yeah, you know, make it happen.
You know, the funny thing about this show is we've never had a third mic on this show ever.
No.
We've had people fill in for me or Mike, but, well, maybe just Mike. But anyway, either way.
Me, yeah.
But we've never had a third mic on the show, and I kind of like that about this show.
Yeah, you know, I'm sure Kevin seems like a nice guy, but let's not muddy the waters here. You know? He already
I'm not
abandoned
against
one
it.
show.
I'm not against it. But, yeah, I'd have to, I'll talk to Kevin.
Sure.
I got to talk to him soon. Not a bad idea. I would like to hear Kevin and Mike banter, see what that's like.
Ooh, that's enticing.
Yeah, this is for Who Are These Socials? Listening to your fine program on a long drive, and the guy that called in about the credit card roulette.
Yeah.
What a schmuck that guy is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 45, another boomer. I've been playing credit card roulette since I got my first credit card, and I made like 20 grand a year. So don't give me that. Only businessmen do that crap. People get so hung up on generations. I tell you what. And then this whole thing, like Venmoing back and forth. Most I'm not going to lose a friend over like $4. And I've seen younger nieces and nephews, and like they get so hung up over like Venmoing people back and forth money. And like, oh, I'm not going to talk to her anymore. She owes me $1 more because he had the large coffee and she only paid me for them. Who cares? Get over yourselves, man.
All right, thank you. Be more succinct next time. But anytime anyone wants to call in and agree with me, I will play the call. Clip it. Kevin Brennan. I want people agreeing with me all the time. That's what we're here for. Karl's right. Start your phone calls with Karl. You were right, and then you're on the show.
I do like that it seems like our voicemail line is just becoming an outlet for some people that are like, I tried a couple of buddies and they didn't answer, so let me just vent to Karl and Mike.
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever you want to do. By the way, Matthew Rowley coming in with another $5. He's saying that he's hearing from a reliable-ish source that Biden will not run and he will not endorse Kamala. Dems will do an open convention announcement Sunday or Monday. Damn it.
That would be nuts.
That would be nuts. That would be fun. I'm
We just
rooting
have
for
fucking
that.
American Idol for the Democratic representative.
They should do it that way.
That'd be
Yes.
great. I'm in.
Let's get Simon Cowell on there to fucking tell Gavin Newsom he sucks. You tell Gretchen Whitmer she can't sing. I'm here for it.
This is great.
This is a great idea.
I like it. I hope Matthew's right.
I hope he's right. I think they're going to have a lot of trouble because all the money that's been donated, it could only be spent by the Biden campaign. So I think it's going to be tough if you don't have, like, Kamala could take it over, but they can't just get a new person in there.
Right. Well,
And then-
it's also going to have to be Kamala Kirk. I heard Kirk say this, and I think it's a good point. It'd be tough for the Democrats to replace jump over a black female with a white guy.
Yeah, she's Indian, but it's nice. I mean,
Well,
you're
whatever,
blind.
person
You're
of
blind.
color,
You don't know.
whatever,
Yeah,
whatever you call them.
I don't know. I like when people say that Kamala Harris is black. Well, she's Indian and she grew up in Canada, but sure.
She's a halfsy, isn't she? Isn't she half black?
Her dad's from Jamaica.
Well, whatever.
I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. No, you're right about that. That would be very difficult to throw Gavin Newsom in there.
Yeah.
There'd be a lot of problems with like what they've been saying for the last 16 years or so. I'd be like, oh, well, that's all out the window, apparently. But more hot political talk. And you know where you can find that is at blindmike.net.
Always, yes. Actually, we do get into some political talk thanks to our boy Richard Ojeda and his hot takes.
Yes.
But yeah, we're live again on Sunday, so check us out Sunday morning, 10 a.m. We're back to our normal time this Sunday, so stop by. And on for Patreon and YouTube members, Why You Laughing is back, baby.
Nice.
We've taken a summer hiatus, and those episodes will start coming out later next month. But for members, it's up now. Our first episode back is Dr. William Cosby. So check out, we talked about the cause. Check that out. We've also done a couple Joe Matarese bonus episodes recently. If you want to watch those, we are always doing Quincy. So consider subscribing or just support the show for free. blindmike.net.
Very good. And Ben's coming with $5, says, can you sing Mr. Sato's song Blind Mike?
Oh!
Am I pronouncing that
I almost
wrong?
forgot that. I can't sing it right now because I'd have to think of all the words.
Come on.
But my
Come
teacher
on.
started. I can try it. Hold on.
Okay.
We had a professor at Westfield State, which shows you what kind of program this was.
Mm-hmm.
He would walk in. He didn't say anything. He would start singing in the hallway. He would walk in and say, "There's a light in me. There's a light in you. Whatever people may think, whatever people may do." I'm fucking up the words, see? But he was a little Asian man that would walk in singing a song called The Light in You every day. It was very fun.
What a life.
Yeah.
What a fun life that is, you know?
It was a moment where I thought, like, am I just in an insane asylum? Is this a real place?
No. You were in college. That's an insane asylum for sure. Yeah. Whoarethese.com. Go there to find all things regarding who are these podcasts, who are these socials, who are these broadcasters. Of course, I'm also on a show called The Creep Off with Vinny Paulino. We do our show. It's a true crime show just for men. And that's the only true crime show for men. We do that every Monday at 1 p.m. on YouTube. You can also listen to it wherever you subscribe to podcasts.
I was kind of on recently, if you want to check that out.
I thank you so much for trying to fill in for me. So here's the good news, everyone. We've had a lot of trouble with the Creep Off the last 2 weeks because of Spectrum Internet, which fucking blows. Change your name from Time Warner. We still know who you are.
You can't hide.
You're not fooling me. But they just got fiber put in. In fact, Vinny was at my house on Monday. We did the Creep Off from my house. We usually do it from his studio because they just put fiber in at the comedy club. So it should be smooth sailing from here on out.
Whew. All right.
What could go wrong? Matthew Rowley, $5 says, Mike, if you agree to never sing again, I will consider Venmoing you $10 a week. I am a lawyer and I consider this a binding agreement.
When people ask for "there's a light in you," I have to. I'm
Yeah, come on, Matthew. Stop fucking with our fun. It's your problem. I don't agree with the sentiment of Matthew Rowley. I just want to say, DabbleCon 2, come to that. WTPLive.com for tickets August 16th and 17th. But Karl, I love all the Dabbleverse stuff. I just don't have friends and family who are into it. It doesn't matter. We're all going to be there hanging out. Get a ticket, come down, spend the weekend. We have one thing in common. Stuttering John Melendez is a buffoon.
Yes, you'll make your friends there.
You'll make a lot of friends there. So come down for that. And we appreciate you guys being here with us. If you're listening, you can watch us live every Thursday. It's free on the Who Are These Podcasts YouTube channel. Every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern, you can catch Mike and myself. If you're watching this, subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. I got to tell you, I was talking to my wife about this. You know, she's a big Blind Mike fan. And she says that she enjoys listening to the show more than watching it because this show, unlike a lot of others, we have to describe what's going on.
Oh.
Half of the hosts
That is
can't
an
see
added
what's
bonus
happening.
of having me, yes.
Yes, so it works out very well
That's
for
a
the
good
audio
point.
for the audio audience, which I try to do that anyway.
Yeah.
But with you, it's even more
need
important. Yeah. To be like, by the way, this guy's wearing a diaper. All right, let's get back to the video clip.
That's a good point, Jenny.
So, yes. So subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts or watch us on YouTube or both. We appreciate that. We appreciate all of you. Mike, let's get out of here.
All right.
Anyway, social media, I'll catch you later, man.
Who are these socials?
That's what this audience wants to hear. Like, whoa!
Who are these socials?
I'm the one who should apologize. Folks, what you were about to see is real.
With Karl.
Okay, we got it.
And Blind Mike.
Who could have thought of that?
WATS. Nobody cares.